So when a man or a woman completes our synagogue's Embracing Judaism program with Judy Bierman and Sally Rosenberg, and formally adopts Judaism with me or Rabbi Bowman, it's not just that these men and women embrace Torah. Torah embraces them. Full disclosure, the reason you won't see Jews holding up signs at college football games reading Genesis 25 is because, in all seriousness, if you are a Christian or a Hindu or a Muslim or a Buddhist or non-aligned with any faith, and you're a decent, ethical human being, you're just fine in God's eyes, says Judaism. But if a person discovers the jewel of Judaism and feels like it's coming home, we welcome them with open arms. It was Louis Brandeis, who was a student at Harvard Law School at a time when there were explicit limits, quotas on what Jews could hope to achieve in the 1870s, and law offices were completely closed to Jewish attorneys. And when Brandeis was in school, his colleagues would say, "Brandeis, you're so brilliant. If you weren't a Jew, you could end up on the Supreme Court. Why don't you convert? Then all your problems would be solved." He didn't respond until later, when he was inducted into the most exclusive honor society at Harvard Law School. Brandeis took to the podium and said, "I am sorry I was born a Jew." And his words were greeted with loud applause, shouts, even cheers. But when the noise died down, Brandeis continued, "I'm sorry I was born a Jew, but only because I wish I had the privilege of choosing Judaism on my own. It will be our privilege in seconds to call forward those who have chosen Judaism, accompanied by those who are choosing Judaism on their own. In this troubled world in need of Jews and Judaism, people want to join our people. People want to join us. Isn't that amazing? The only problem is there's so many, I don't have all their names. And so I'm going to ask now all the men and women who have embraced Judaism within the last few years with one of us or one of the rabbis, wherever you are, if you'll come forward for the highest honor of this day, for the aliyah. Ya'amdu hagerim hanichbadim vehamorot hatovot likvod haTorah. Now, those of us who were Jews by chance, as opposed to Jews by choice, for some reason, we need larger fonts. Come on, scooch in close. This is your Torah. Come in close. Monique, if you hold this, please. I know. Come in close. Here. Come in close. Come in close. And first, Rabbi, anything you want to say about what we're reading? Where is it? I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt her.
Okay. We'll be reading from the Torah now. You'll find the text of what I'm going to read on page 124 and 126 in the translation on the opposite pages. And this moment of test that Abraham has, where he has to make a choice, is such a testament to the complexity of making a choice, how we know what we should embrace, what we should let go of. And I think every year when we come to the story and we read it, we may see it, as Rabbi Greenside said last night, with new eyes. What does it mean to make a commitment? What does it mean to make a choice? What does it mean to let go? These are the biggest questions of life, and we thank you all for teaching us some of what that means in your commitment. So we'll join in the blessing.
Speaking of Harvard, John was in the Crocodiles, so this better sound good. That's an a cappella group. Glee on steroids.
It's okay.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam
124, I called it. Amen. Amen. Vayhi hachar devarim ha'ele v'ha'elohim yisa et Avraham vayomer elav Avraham vayomer hineni vayomer kach na'at bincha jechidcha asher ahavta et Yitzchak v'lech lecha el eretz hamoria v'halehu sham le'olah al achad ha'arim asher omar elecha וישכם אברהם בבוקר, ויחבוש את חמורו, ויקח את שני נעריו איתו ואת יצחק בנו, ויבקע עולה, ויקום וילך אל המקום אשר אמר לו האלוהים. It was one day that God tested Abraham and called to Abraham from the heavens and said, Abraham, Abraham, and Abraham answered, Hineni, here I am. And God's voice said, sacrifice your son, your precious one whom you love, on a mountain that I will show you. And so Abraham, with no words, took his son and moved toward that mountain. ויקח אברהם את עצי העולה, וישם יצחק בנו, ויקח בידו את האש ואת המאכלת, וילכו שניהם יחדיו. ויאמר יצחק אל אברהם אביו, ויאמר אבי, ויאמר הנני בני, ויאמר הנה האש והעצים, ויעשה לעולה. ויאמר אברהם אלוהים יראה לו עשה לעולה בני, וילכו שניהם יחדיו. And on the way to this place, Abraham and Isaac have a conversation. Isaac says, Father, I see the wood, I see the fire. Where is the sacrifice? And Abraham answered, God will provide the sacrifice at the moment we need it, my son. And the two of them walked on together. ויבואו אל המקום אשר אמר לו האלוהים, ויבן שם אברהם את המזבח, ויערוך את העצים, ויעקוד את יצחק בנו, וישם אותו על המזבח ממעל העצים. וישלח אברהם את ידו, ויקח את המאכלת לשחוט את בנו. And Abraham laid Isaac on the altar and stuck out his arm, grabbing the knife, preparing to sacrifice his son. ויקרא אליו מלאך אדוני מן השמיים, ויאמר אברהם, אברהם, ויאמר הנני, ויאמר אל תשלח ידך אל הנער ואל תעש לו מאומה, כי אתה ידעתי כי ירא אלוהים אתה ולא חסכת את בנך יחידך ממני. And a voice cried out to Abraham, Abraham, Abraham. And Abraham answered once again, Hineni. And the voice, the angel of God, said, do not sacrifice this son of yours. Now I know that you hear me, because you did not withhold from me. וישא אברהם את עיניו, וירא והנה עיל אחד נחז בסבך בקרניו, וילך אברהם ויקח את העיל, ויעלהו לעולה תחת בנו. And in that moment, Abraham lifted his eyes and saw a ram with its horn caught in a thicket. And he offered this ram, which seemed to be a gift from God, the sacrifice provided, in place of his son. ויקרא אברהם שם המקום ההוא אדוני יראה, אשר יאמר היום באדוני יראה. And Abraham gave a name to this place, God will see, and it is called that to this day. ויקרא מלאך אדוני אל אברהם שנית מן השמיים. And the angel called out to Abraham once again from the heavens and said to Abraham, you will be a blessing. Your children will be as numerous as the stars in the sky and the sands on the sea, the sands at the sea, and you will make a difference in this world. ויתברכו בזרעך כל גויי הארץ, עקב אשר שמעת בקולי. Vayeshev Avraham el Ne'ar, Vayashov Avraham el Ne'arav, Vayakumu Vayachu Yachtav el Be'ershava, Vayeshev Avraham Be'ershava. And Abraham heard that he would be a blessing, and he gathered Isaac, and he returned to his traveling companions, and they all moved on to the next moment in their life together.
On three, Yasher Koach. 1, 2, 3. Yasher Koach. Blessing after.
Amen.
Mishe berach avotenu v'imotenu Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May the one who bless our ancestors bless all of you who have chosen Judaism as your chosen faith. After years of serious learning, study, living, and commitment, you're adding power to our people already. You reawaken in each of us the privilege. You reawaken in each of us the joy and blessing of Judaism and the God-given miracle of Jewish life. You make us proud, and we are better because of you. Shomer Yisrael, God, whom we call the guardian of Israel, who neither slumbers nor sleeps. We thank you for these Jews by choice who have been awakened and who have awakened so many of us to the gift and blessing of being Jewish. Bless these women and men who bring strength to us by their shared conviction born of love, love of Torah, love of the Jewish people, and love for all people. And we can all say, Amen. We can all shout, Yasher Koach. 1, 2, 3. And Mazel Tov on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Mazel Tov.